Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Janet Yung, and in my channel I share about Feng Shui, Bazi, entrepreneurship as well as personal growth, especially in the areas of motivation, communication and success. In today's episode, I'll be sharing with you with regards to how do you Feng Shui your bedroom such that you have a peaceful sleep, such that you enjoy happiness and success, especially in good relationship and communication. So without further ado, let's move on to today's episode. I'm a Feng Shui and Bazi consultant, as most of you all know. And what are the questions that most of my clients ask me when they are trying to Feng Shui their home, especially their bedrooms? So in today's episode, I'll be sharing with you what are the top tips and mistakes that you should avoid when doing Feng Shui for your bedroom. So here comes. Number one, you have to basically sleep with your head pointing towards your good directions. Now, how do you get the good directions? What you need to do is basically go to the link that I'm pointing here, or you can go to the link that I have inputted into the video description itself, called bazicalculator.janetyong.com, and get your free directions. So if you can't really tap on your good directions, the key is not to tap on your worst direction. And what I mean by that is your head pointing direction, as shown in this particular picture here. The next that is most critical is basically you need to sleep with your head pointed towards a solid wall like that. Now, the solid wall doesn't have to be a brick wall, it can be a partition wall, but it is crucial that you sleep with the head pointing towards a wall rather than the door or the window as shown in this picture. Why is that the case? Now, when we're sleeping, if you understand, all of us are energy beings. So we have vibrations going outwards. And when we're sleeping, basically, if the vibration above or behind our head when we're sleeping is not stable, then of course you're going to have dreams, you're not going to have a good night's sleep, and therefore you will not feel rested and do well the next day. So sleeping with your head pointing towards one of your good directions and towards a wall is critical. Although I mentioned a wall, now it's a wall even if it's towards your good direction, but it's sharing a wall with a toilet, especially the toilet bowl or shower or the stove, it is not great. Now, why is that the case? Now, because behind the walls you have pipings, whether it's the drainage piping, the stove gas piping, again, it's not stable in energy, therefore it will not lead to good health. So that's the next tip that I would like to share with you. The third other important tip is our bedroom is a place where we are supposed to have a good night's rest. Now, of course, because of the work from home situation, a lot of times we may be working in our room because there's no other room to utilize. But when you are sleeping, you must make sure that the room is yin enough. Now, what does it mean by yin? Now, in another video that I covered about yang and yin, which I'm pointing to the link here that you can click on when you want to watch what's yin and yang. But basically, yin is well rested, quiet, calm. Now, in order to sleep, you cannot sleep in a noisy room, you cannot sleep in a room with too much activities. Therefore, if you have a lot of computer equipment, electrical equipment that emits out all the electromagnetic energies, then you're not going to sleep well. So one of the critical things for a good night's sleep is the room should not be too young. And then therefore it should be yin, which is the opposite. But I also do not mean that you should paint your ceiling black in color, because then it makes it too yin for you to sleep comfortably. So these are the 3 tips that I'd like to repeat. Number 1, you should sleep with your head pointing towards one of your good directions. Get your good directions from my Bazi calculator, which I have inputted the link in the video description. The second is sleep with your head pointed towards a solid wall, but not sharing with the stove, the toilet bowl or the shower head. The next then is basically to ensure that your room is yin enough for you to have a good night's rest. So these are the top 3 tips. Now, Let's move on to a lot of the taboos and mistakes that people make when designing their bedroom that can cause them stress as well as aches in their body, in their heads, or having a migraine that I commonly see when I visit their home for a Feng Shui audit itself. So mistake number one, it's basically to have a ceiling fan directly above their bed when they're sleeping, as shown in this picture here. Now, why is that the case? I've already mentioned to you before, all human beings have vibrational energies. What do I mean by vibrational energies? Vibrational energies means if you do not have to walk close to a person, you can already feel that the person is happy or mad at you. How do we know that? We can't really see if it's at a distance, but we can actually feel the energy. So that is the vibrational energy that we emit out. Can you imagine if you are sleeping under a ceiling fan continuously for 8 hours? What would happen to you when you have a depressed feel directly above you over a long period of time? Whether is it your legs, whether is it your back, it's the same. You're going to have back aches, or you may have more frequent falls basically because of that. Therefore, following on that particular point is, I think interior designers like to design such that the ceiling light is directly above our head, above our body, so that we can have light when we sleep. But the key thing is, in order to install a lot of the lights, especially the down lights, they will have to create a false ceiling, and if it is directly above your bed, it will be the same effect. And I've seen many cases of aches, back issues, shoulder pressures, headaches, mainly because of these false ceilings or beams that are directly above their bed when they are sleeping over a long period of time. So that's a common mistake that you definitely have to avoid. The next mistake that a lot of people have when designing their bedroom is basically they love to have a mirror to look at themselves before they get out of the room or get out of the house. Now, when we have mirrors, we have to be very careful where they are. If you have a mirror reflecting your bed, especially if you are a couple, then you're reflecting more than one person or more than two persons into your bedroom, and depending on the flying stars, what I've noticed, it can cause friction and arguments for the couple itself. But if you're looking at, I need to have a mirror, so where can I install the mirror? Well, you can install the mirror basically maybe within your cabinet door, such that after you're dressed up, you can open the cabinet door, take a look at yourself, happy with yourself, close the door, but it does not reflect the bed itself. So therefore, when choosing materials for your wardrobes that are next to your bed in the bedroom, you have to be very careful of the materials. Make sure that it's not too reflective as well. The next common mistake that I see in a lot of bedrooms when I visit their home or when interior designers design the home is having shelvings directly above the head. Can you imagine? It's the same kind of effect. You have a sharp corner pointing at you, you have a shelving directly above your head for a long period of time when you sleep. So of course it's going to cause you stress. And for children, for sure, it's not so good to have a double-decker bed, or it's not great to actually have a design where you have the bed on top or the desk below, or the bed below and the desk on top. It's the same concept because you are basically reducing the space above your head by half, and over a long period of time it's going to cause you major stress. The next mistake that a lot of couples do is generally, well, if I have my boyfriend or my husband giving me roses for our birthdays, Valentine's, anniversary, it's great, and I would really like to keep the flowers. And what they do is they leave the flower to dry out in their bedroom. Now, anything in our bedroom or our living space that is dying is not naturally going to be good for your energy, right? So if you are trying to recover from illness, you're trying to be healthy, you want to be calm, make sure you do not have all these dried out leaves or dried out flowers in your bedroom. The next mistake that I see very often for a couple or an individual, whether is it a male and especially a female trying to attract either a baby if it's a couple, or if it is basically a female attracting a guy, they have too much things in their bedroom, especially stuffed toys, figurines, and if you collect especially fighting toys, those that are transformer-like, how are you ever going to feel at ease at home such that you are able to rest and emit the right kind of energy for the right kind of people to be in the relationship with you? So whatever that you keep in your bedroom, I think it's something, if you can keep it as zen as possible, keep it as peaceful as possible such that you have a good night's rest. Even if you have to work in your bedroom, make sure that you turn off all electrical points. Even I make the mistake of at times having the phone too close to me and I don't really have a good night's sleep because a lot of the wavelengths may cause a lot of disturbances and I have dreams throughout the night, and the next morning I will not wake up fresh for work the next day. I hope you enjoy the tips that I have shared with you. I've shared basically 3 tips in terms of tapping towards your good direction, sleeping with the head pointing towards a wall, as well as all the mistakes that you should not be making in terms of having pressure directly above you, whether it's caused by a ceiling fan, a lower ceiling itself, having objects that are not meant to be in your bedroom, for example, too much electrical equipment, dried out flowers, or too much stuffed toys, or angry toys that will cause an issue when you're trying to attract a relationship within your life. That's the end of this particular episode, and I hope you have enjoyed whatever that I've shared. Please do like and share this video. If you have subscribed, if not, please do remember to subscribe and share with people that you think will basically benefit from what I have shared. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.